It gives me immense pleasure to introduce today's resource person, Mr. Mandar Khasnis. Mandar sir has done MSc in Mathematics and Subject Communication both. Currently, he is working as Associate Professor at Department of Mathematics in CHM College, Ulhasnagar. He has completed two minor research projects and has presented research papers in several conferences at national and international level. He is pursuing his PhD in operator theory. Apart from this, he has delivered several popular lectures on the topics in graph theory, infinity, and origami, and has worked as content writer and instructor for project funded by Swayam to prepare a MOOC on topology. I welcome Mandar sir and request him to start the session.
Thank you so much, Bhakti and Sai madam. I'm really thankful to the organizers. I think Ruia College, Ratnam, and I suppose KC2 is involved,
KC, yes,
maybe.
KC also.
Right. So I'm really thankful to giving me this opportunity to interact with students from different colleges, because otherwise from different colleges gatherings are little less. So thanks a lot. Now let me start with my session. So probably few points, because it is online. Usually what we used to do is, in the classroom we used to have these sessions till last year, and maybe due to this pandemic we are like helpless and we have to do it online. So what we used to do that time is, like maybe initial 30 minutes, a similar pattern I would like to follow, but I need your more cooperation from your side. I'm talking about the students. So initially maybe for 30 to 40 minutes I would like to revise the topic. Maybe some of you are from first year BSc 2, they need to have more patience, and they will, in fact, it's good that they are joining if they are there, and they may get introduced to the topics thoroughly afterwards, but at least I will try to cover up the idea at least. So that I will do in 30 to 40 minutes as we used to do, and then after that it's all problem solving. So I have already shared the problem sheet. From that sheet we would like to solve maybe jitna ho sake, those many problems we would like to at least discuss, and then that's it. So main idea is on problem solving. Main focus actually is naturally on solving the problems, but then for that we need some sort of revisit of all the topics that are under this particular heading, that is limits and continuity. So let me get into my work. I would like to share my screen. So yeah, I think you can see the screen, right?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. All right. So as I said, I want to revise few ideas, few, of course, definitions, and then certain theorems, certain results, which will help us in solving the problems. So that is functions from mainly from R to R, or from some subsets of R to R. Okay, real valued functions from some subsets of real numbers. Okay, that's what we are going to deal with. So since I'm calling it as a revision, let me immediately begin with a question. That is, if I take a function f from reals to reals, okay, and if I fix up some point p in R, right, then we used to write something like this: limit x tends to p, f of x is equal to L. This is what we this notation we got introduced to, I suppose, in 11. Let me turn off my video now because it is taking more internet. Yeah. All right. Now, question is, what is the meaning? Okay. What is the meaning of this? When do I say limit x goes to p, f of x is equal to L? So I want people to say something. Can they unmute themselves? Is that setting is there?
Yes, they can.
Yeah, even I can unmute, so they can. Some answer in the chat box. Okay. Somebody saying continuous. I don't agree to
If
it because
for all epsilon positive,
something is coming. For all epsilon positive. Okay. Shall I write like this?
yes, sir.
Uh,
There
who,
exists delta positive.
okay, who is trying to answer? Can you, I mean, I'm not able to see the name.
Such that whenever
Such that whenever
mod of x minus p is less than
mod, okay, x minus p,
delta
delta,
implies
okay,
mod of f of x minus l
hmm,
is less than epsilon.
okay. Something she has said, which everyone agrees to this. Thank you, by the way. Now, let's discuss. Means, does anyone has any question, any objection on what she has said? Then you can raise your
0
objection.
less than mod of x minus p less than delta.
Somebody is trying to add up something. May I do this? What is the difference, by the way, if I don't write this? What
It
will
may
happen?
equal to 0.
It may be equal
Equal
to
to
0.
0
Means what? Means what you are allowing.
at
It
same
is
point.
limit of x tending to p. It is not equal to p. It might be close to p, but not exactly equal to it. So it is 0 less than mod of x minus p less than delta.
Okay, so when we try to discuss this, we are being told that जब हम ये x arrow p लिखते हैं, तो इसका मतलब है x is tending to p and x is not equal to p. ऐसा कुछ, right?
सर
Yes.
अगर
हाँ
लेस देन जीरो वाला ग्रेटर देन जीरो नहीं रहेगा तो वो कंटिन्यूस का डेफिनेशन हो जाएगा.
ओके, सो यू वांट टू से वो कंटिन्यूस का मतलब सिर्फ इतना ही चेंज है उसमें कि ये नहीं रहता है कि और कुछ है.
सर ये भी
It
नहीं
will
रहता
be
और
equal to
मॉड ऑफ
f
एफ
of
ऑफ
p.
एक्स माइनस एफ ऑफ पी हो जाएगा.
हाँ, okay. So let us not get into that right now because you know that requires some more things. Okay, so let me include or let me take this 0 less than mod x minus p less than delta just to avoid point p basically. And why we need to avoid? Because we don't need to talk about what happens to the function at p. Okay, we would like to know that behavior of the function at nearby points near to p, the points which are near to p, how my function behaves at those points. Okay, so in the neighborhood of p function का क्या behavior है ये हमें देखना है. All right, now truly speaking, forget about all this epsilon, delta, anything like that. I want to say that in simple English, if I want to convert this, what we would like to say, we would like to say that as x tends something like this to p, comma, we must have f of x tending to L. Now tending to, I can say a better word can be like approaching to L, right? See, ये कहाँ से आया basically? ये how this definition had arrived. I hope people know that. I'm just going a little fast. So how did this came into existence? Basically, there was a. I mean, it's not that अचानक एक दिन somebody has derived. I mean, somebody had decided that this should be the definition. See, earlier it used to be something like people used to say every function, कोई भी function लिया, वो continuous ही means it is taken as yes already it is like continue. जैसे आपने 11th 12th में जो functions के साथ काम किया था every function was like nice behaving, and we used to, like, if I ask you, even now if I ask limit x tends to 3 of x square plus 1, what answer will you give? Can you give me the answer immediately?
10.
This is going to be 10. How did you get this answer, by the way? What did you do for this?
Just by substituting the value.
हाँ, आपने simply substitute किया, इसका value यहाँ पर substitute किया. But is that what we can do in every problem? Can we do this in every problem?
No, sir.
No.
We cannot do this in every problem. So that is what one needs to learn, that when we are discussing limits, it's like it's not every time that I can put the value and get away with it. That's not possible. Rather, for that reason, in fact, we need to keenly observe what actually it means by saying limit x tends to p f of x is L. Okay. So ideally speaking, what I would have done, I would have prepared a table of values of x and actually observe as x is going closer and closer to p, what happens to these values? What happens to these values? I will put those values here in place of x and prepare the table of values for x square plus 1 also. And then one can actually see that those values will converge or will approach to 10, will go more and more closer to 10. And in that sense, the limit, I would like to declare it as 10. So to be very, clear to understand ye kahan se aaya, it has come simply from this idea. Now, when I want to convert this into a mathematical language, so how do I convert that? That is like when I am saying tends to. What is the meaning of tends to? Tends to means the distance between x and p is smaller and smaller. So I would like to write on the next line something like distance. Only thing is, I don't want to, be worried about what happens at p. So I can just keep p outside the discussion. I don't want to discuss what happens. Even I might not be having the function defined at p. That's also okay. Still, one can discuss the limit. So this should imply mod fx minus L should be small. Abhi a small matlab there is some measurement that I need to declare. Say epsilon and delta will come into picture. So small will get replaced by some quantity, some precise quantity, epsilon and delta. So now I will come back and ask you the question again. In this definition, so now everyone takes this as the definition. Now question is, in this definition, how many quantifiers are involved? Now maybe those from CHM may be able to say something, but don't say. Yeah, so quantifiers everyone knows?
At 2.
So one quantifier you can see is for every. The another quantifier which you can see is there exists. And that's it. Everyone says 2 quantifiers or some more quantifiers.
एक और sir, for all x belongs to R minus P.
Correct. That is what one has to keenly observe, that when I'm saying whenever, इसका मतलब I have a quantifier for all. See, whenever का मतलब क्या है? हर एक के लिए. So means you are talking about for every x in R with this condition holding true. So ऐसे हर एक x के लिए क्या होना चाहिए? This must be true. So there are actually speaking 3 quantifiers which are being involved. Okay, this is one small point I thought I should be emphasizing on. Now, this is just the definition. Geometry, I hope people are clear with. That is, so what happens to the situation, to the graph of the function? Say it might not be continuous. Say maybe at this point 1, I may have the value somewhere here, and this might be say 2, this might be 3. So f of 1 is 3, but if I try to tend to 1 from this direction or from this direction, the function is behaving like this, or if I'm coming from this side, it will reach to this point. So ultimately my limit, I would like to geometrically observe it as 2. And you give me any now epsilon around 2, epsilon distance around 2, okay, epsilon distance. I am in a position to find some delta distance around 1 such that whenever I am here, the image will fall in this epsilon distance. The image of that particular point is going to fall within epsilon distance from L. This is my L now. This is our L. Okay, this is my P. All right, so this is what is happening for or in case of limits. Now, going quickly ahead, this is okay that we had. Few quick observations we can make which are going to be useful to talk about continuity and all. So typically speaking, if I know limit x tends to p of f of x, it's say L, and limit x tends to p of g of x is m, you know what am I going to ask? So we already have the algebra of limits in hand. That's what I'm talking about. F plus g ka limit L plus m hota hai, वगैरह वगैरह. Okay, so that's all right. I want to ask something more than that. That is, so let me ask that on the new page. So let me take limit x goes to p of f of x as say L. Okay, so f of x is tending to L. Now I am saying limit say y goes to L of g of y is suppose m, right? What am I going to ask then? Can you frame my question? I want to say something about limit x goes to p of something.
G circle f of x.
G composite f. What do you expect this?
M.
Yes, everybody try to understand. X tends to p, fx is L, and whenever y tends to L, g of y tends to m. So x tends to p, then this is what? This is g of fx. Now as x tends to p, fx goes to L, right? And as y goes to L, g of y
L over P.
goes to m. Please mute yourself. G of y goes to m, and hence it is expected that this should be m. But this is what I wanted to observe, that this is not true. So try to give one counter example for why this is not true. All right, understand that here is the place where वो जो definition में हमने जो correction किया ना, 0 less than mod x minus p, मतलब at p what happens to the function, that is not going to be considered in the case of limit. This idea is actually being used in this. Try to see whether you can find some counter example. So this is not true. Let me declare, this is not true, unfortunately, although we expect it to be true. This is not true. So try to construct some f and g, find some f g such that it does not hold. Okay, that I'm keeping as an exercise. It's a nice exercise that you can try. It's not a difficult thing. Sit down and try to write it. You will be able to get some examples. Okay, so this is one point about limits that I thought I should be sharing with you. Going ahead, continuity. So f from R to R is continuous at P if, now somebody has already said that ये जो limit है x goes to p f of x, this should match with the value of the function at the point. So understand, मुझे continuity discuss करनी है तो f of p should be well defined. All right, that is important. F of p you should be knowing. So actually जब ये हम कहते हैं तो we are trying to say two things. One is the limit exists, and second is the answer to this limit and the value of the function at p matches. So ये दोनों चीजें अगर हो रही है तो फंक्शन कंटिन्यूस होने वाला है, वरना नहीं. For example, let me give two examples. So if I take f of x is equal to say 1 over x for x positive and 0 for x less than or equal to 0. And naturally, I want to talk about limit x goes to 0 of fx. So you can observe that how the function is behaving. 1 by x, so it will go like a hyperbola, rectangular hyperbola, and this side it is 0. So ये side में इसका ग्राफ ऐसे रहेगा, up to 0. So at 0, it won't exist. Limit will not exist. All right, because one side, as limit extends to 0 from this, the limit is going, function is becoming unbounded, and hence limit will be like kind of infinity, so it won't exist. All right, so this is happening for this particular function at 0, although at 0 it is defined. All right, f of 0 is very much there. F of 0 is 0. Second example that I can rush through is like little different. So maybe I will try to give it as f of x is equal to 2x for all x other than 1, and at 1 it is 3. What do you think this is going to be? What is limit x goes to 1 of fx?
2.
2.
Yes, everybody. It will exist and it's equal to 2. Try to understand how the graph will look like. It's simply the line 2x everywhere. ऐसा kind of a line रहेगा. Only at 1, instead of being it 2, there is a hole and it is 3 over here. Okay, तो यहाँ पर hole है. Okay, that graph has got a hole there, and at 1 it is 3. But then you approach to 1 from either side, you are going to end up at same point, that is 2. So limit is existing, only problem is this doesn't match with the value of the function at 1, and hence function fails to become continuous. Ideally, if I can draw the graph without lifting my hand, I would like to say function is continuous, but of course this is intuitive idea. Precisely, we have a definition using epsilon delta, which is going to help us out in developing the results. So this point is clear to everybody that continuity means you require two things. एक तो limit exist होना चाहिए, और दूसरा it should match with the value of the function at that point. Okay. Now rushing through sequence and continuity. What is the relation between sequences and continuity? Somebody quickly tell me. If I have a sequence from R to R, function from R to R, continuous at P, then can someone like to say something? What is the connection between sequences and continuity?
The definition of sequence is slightly related to continuity.
Okay. Definition of convergent sequence, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. That's okay. Sorry. That's correct. But more than that, can I try to define continuity in terms of sequences? Is what I
For any sequence x n, P should converge. F should converge at f of p.
Any sequence xn converging to P We must have
sequence f of x and converging to f of p.
correct sequence f of xn to converge to f of p. Very good. So that's what we call it as sequential continuity, and this is if and only if result that whenever a function is continuous at a point, you take any sequence converging to that point, the corresponding image sequence, that is sequence of images f of x1, f of x2, f of x3, that sequence has to converge to the value of the function at a point. Now this is absolutely powerful result, and it helps in playing with many examples to show some function is continuous as well as to show some function is not continuous. All right, both can be done. For example, if I take a simple function, say f of x is equal to say 0 for x rationals and 1 for x irrationals. Okay, I would like to now, can you guess about the function? It's continuous, not continuous.
Continuous.
It's nowhere continuous, right? So 0 at rational points, so it's dotted kind of a thing over here, and 1 again dotted over here. So at any point there is going to be a problem, because in every neighborhood there are rationals as well as irrationals. That will create a problem. Okay, so you can try proving it by say sequential technique if you want to. Then you can find some sequence converging to say fix up some point p, and I can by rational by density I can say there is a sequence xn converging to p where each xn is belonging to q. By the way, do you know this? If I take any point, any real number p, then there always exists a sequence of rationals converging to this. Do you know this? You can say no, no
Yes.
problem.
No, sir.
Okay. See, density theorem everybody knows.
Yes, sir.
Between any two real numbers, there exists a rational number, and in fact, infinitely many rationals. That's what the density means. तो मैं क्या करूँगा? P और P plus 1 लूँगा. Then you get one rational. अभी P और x1 देखो, you will get another rational x2. P or x2 देखो, you will get another rational x3, and so on. And I can also see that the distance is reducing by at the same time taking p plus 1, then p plus half, then p plus 1 by 3, and so on. तो मैं एक ऐसा सीक्वेंस जनरेट कर सकता हूं जो p और p plus 1 by n के बीच में, right? And then this goes to p, this is going to p, so by sandwich xn has no choice, xn has to go to p. So one can actually say, as a consequence of density theorem, that there always exists sequence of rationals converging to p, and there always exists sequence of irrationals converging to p in the similar by the same argument. But now what will happen? Look at f of xn. F of xn are all 0 because xn's are rationals. F of xn is 0, which is converging to f of p. All right, and here f of yn are all 1, which is converging to f of p. So I am having f of p 0 as well as 1 at the same time, which cannot happen, and hence this function can never be continuous at any point. So this is just one small example. I hope the statement is at least clear to everybody, and we can apply it wherever needed. So this is one important property I thought I should be covering up. Then I know it is little bit fast because I want to but actually get into problems, लेकिन वो सारे problems में ये properties हम use करने पड़ सकते हैं हमें, तो इसलिए मैं revise कर रहा हूँ. 2 more and then we'll move on to problems. One is about continuity only. So continuity and boundedness. तो क्वेश्चन ये है बेसिकली कि अगर मैं कोई भी फंक्शन ले रहा हूँ फ्रॉम से सम सबसेट ए सबसेट ऑफ आर टू आर, कंटिन्यूअस है पूरा, then can I say f is bounded? In general continuous function bounded होता है क्या? Come on, I could not hear you, sorry Raja.
Not necessary, sir.
Not necessary. Very simple example, f of x equal to x. I will simply
Constant
give.
function.
So, no, this is not. But then if I put a condition, a subset of r bounded है suppose to r, तो a जो है ये bounded है अभी and function continuous है. Does this imply f to be bounded? अभी मेरा set domain bounded है and function is continuous. Now does this imply boundedness?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, yes, okay.
F तो bounded भी है and continuous भी है ना?
A bounded है और F continuous. Domain is bounded.
Yes, sir. Bounded होगा.
हाँ. Any other answer someone would like to say? Like किसी को नहीं कहना है क्या? No. So let me give you the answer. Interestingly, it is also no. Now, can you find one example to justify my answer? You can mute yourself after you are done. Yeah. Yes. Any example? So there, the domain can be bounded, but still, and then continuity is also there, but still function may not be bounded. Very simple example it is. Like I'll give you a domain, then you can guess what should be the function. Now A is bounded.
Yes.
Now what fx can you give, which is continuous but bounded नहीं होगा वो. It will take very high values in 0 to 1. Huh?
1 upon x.
Very good, very good. It's 1 by x. Now this is continuous because there is no problem. 0 बाहर है, तो बाकी सब points के लिए continuity is there, right? So function is continuous. A is bounded, but function is not bounded. Okay, so that also A bounded होना काफी नहीं है, right? So what I would like to put then, I would like to say if so it's not just a bounded interval, I would like to say suppose my set is specifically a closed and bounded interval and function is continuous. Now is f bounded? And now this is a nice situation, in fact very nice situation in the sense answer is certainly yes. तो अगर मेरा डोमेन क्लोज्ड एंड बाउंडेड इंटरवल है, means in this case I'm taking interval for convenience, if it is a closed and bounded interval then function is bounded, and not only that, it can also be proved further that f attains its bounds. मतलब क्या, फंक्शन का जो सुप्रीमम होगा, सुप्रीमम it will be equal to function का value at some point, say p. You can find somebody in the domain such that f of p is the supreme and infimum is f of q. Understand? ऐसा हर टाइम होना जरूरी नहीं है. Please realize, if I take f from open 0 1 to r such that f of x equal to x, then what is the supremum of the function? 1. But can I write it as f of something?
No.
No. So there is no p such that I can write f of p is 1. So supremum is not attained by this function, although it's continuous. But ऐसा होगा नहीं अगर आपका domain closed or bounded है, basically. So this is very crucial property that one needs to understand about continuous functions, that if your domain is closed and bounded, then and function is continuous, then function is not only bounded but it also attains its bounds. Okay, this is one thing that I wanted to recollect. Then next is intermediate value theorem or intermediate value property. Now, can somebody say something about it? Do you know this? Have you heard of this word? Intermediate value?
Yes.
So what you can do is take a function, say maybe from AB to R, okay, continuous, and point is geometry देखते हैं पहले, फिर statement develop करेंगे. Point ये है कि ये A to B interval है, suppose f of A suppose negative है और f of B है positive. नाउ फंक्शन कंटिन्यूअस है तो मुझे ये पॉइंट से ये पॉइंट पहुंचना है बिना हाथ उठाए. दैट मीन्स डू यू सी बेसिकली दैट आई हैव टू कट एक्स एक्सिस एट लीस्ट वंस. कैन यू सी दैट?
Yes, sir.
लाइक कम से कम एक बार, नहीं तो मुझे कट नहीं करना है तो मुझे ऐसे जाना पड़ेगा, बट फिर फंक्शन कंटिन्यूटी फंक्शन की ब्रेक होगी. सो दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. So what I need to do, I need to somehow cut x-axis once or maybe more than once. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, but कम से कम एक बार तो कट करना पड़ेगा. अगर दूसरा सिचुएशन है, मतलब A और B है, f of A पॉजिटिव है, f of B नेगेटिव, तो भी वही होने वाला है. You have to join these 2 points and so you have to cut x-axis at least once. So basically the condition I can write it as f of A and f of B are different in sign. मतलब एक नेगेटिव होगा तो दूसरा पॉजिटिव होना चाहिए. This can be written like this. The product is negative. Then there exists a point between A and B such that the value of the function at that point is 0. हाँ ऐसा, this is the point I am talking about. Or even this or this. इसमें 3 दिख रहे हैं, इन्हें भी इधर भी 3 है, but कम से कम एक तो exist होगा. All right. So this is intermediate value property, in fact, which is absolutely important, and there always being a question on intermediate value property in JAM. You can see good examples on intermediate value property, in fact. So this is one thing that I thought I should be revising. Now, I suppose enough of it. We'll move to our problem sheet, and as and when required, I will try to recollect some more ideas, in fact, that if needed. तो अभी हम एक काम करते हैं, we'll move to our question sheet. Let me take the document. आपको मैंने ऑलरेडी ये किया है, क्या कहते हैं वो, टेलीग्राम पे डाला हुआ है. So let's get into that. Has everyone got the sheet?
Yes, sir.
Very good. तो वो शीट देखो अभी, क्वेश्चन शीट. I won't be solving all questions of course, but कुछ questions हम डिस्कस कर सकते हैं साथ में. But मुझे क्या लगता है, I will give you some time, say maybe 3 to 4 minutes, 4 minutes maximum. You try to attempt, and then I will discuss if you are not getting. So let's look at, let's go in different order. Say third question first. So let's look at third question. Everybody, हाँ? कोशिश करो पहले आप लोग. So if someone has done, then you can put in the chat privately to me. So it's good. Many of you could, answer correctly. The thing is, you just have to plot and you will be able to get the idea. And how do you plot? Those, see, जिनका हो गया है answer correct. Let me disclose the answer. Answer is B. F is continuous but not differentiable. Those who are done, they can move to question number 2 and then question 1 as well. जिनका नहीं हुआ है ना, they can listen to me. Others can go ahead to the next question. So I'm just explaining for those who are working on problem number 3. How do you plot? Point is, सिर्फ मॉडेक्स का ग्राफ पता है ना तो भी काफी है. ये है अपना मॉडेक्स. ओके, तो इसका यूज करके मैं निकालूंगा मॉड x-2 का ग्राफ। ये 0 है, तो x-2 मतलब मेरा हॉरिजॉन्टल शिफ्ट होगा, मतलब वर्टेक्स आ जाएगा 2 पे, क्योंकि मॉड x-2 इज 0 एट 2, so it will be something like this. So this is mod x-, right? बट अभी मुझे माइनस ऑफ दिस चाहिए, तो माइनस करूंगा तो ये पूरा एक्स एक्सिस पे रिफ्लेक्ट होगा नीचे। सो व्हाट दैट विल बी लाइक, ये 2 है एंड इट विल कम डाउन, so this is minus of mod x-, लेकिन अभी मुझे 1 ऐड करने का है, इस सब पे 1 ऐड करना है, मतलब इट विल गेट शिफ्टेड अप +1, so it will go up, and so what will it be? It will be something like 2, मतलब ये यहाँ पर था at 2 it was 0, उसके जगह पर 1 होगा, at 2 it will be 1. all right, and it will go like this. Okay, this is 1 and 3, this is 1, this is what, this is 1 minus mod of x minus, ये अंदर का। अभी इसका मॉड मतलब क्या, जो कोई भी निगेटिव में जा रहा है उनको करस्पॉन्डिंग पॉजिटिव में लेके आना है आपको। सो फाइनली द ग्राफ विल लुक लाइक this. At 2 it is 1, like this, and then this will go ahead. Okay, so it's a continuous graph, continuity is there, and we'll see of course differentiability in the next session, but you can make out that whenever there is a corner you cannot discuss about the tangent. All right, and hence at all these points differentiability fails, so it's not differentiable, only continuous, right? Now I would like to see the chat. If you are done with second, anyone? Okay, I don't know, I need to work out second question. For second, you have to actually compute the expression for capital Fs in terms of S. So how do you do that? So what happens to second? I could see some answers. So I have seen one correct answer till now. How did you calculate? Let me do that. I can see some correct answers. You can go for question 1 or question 4, 5, 6. Shall I tell you? I'll just disclose the, the function capital Fs क्या आता है. That I will just disclose for those who are working on this. So question number 2, I am declaring the value of capital F. So let me move to a new page. I'm talking about question 2. Capital Fs is actually s square by 2 for 0 less than or to t less than, sorry, why t I'm using 0 less than or to s less than or to 1, and it is s square minus 1 by 2 for 1 less than or to s less than or to 2. This is how it will be. And so it's continuous. Even at 1 it's continuous, but it won't be differentiable. You can calculate left side derivative and right side derivative at 1. It will be different. Okay, and hence the function is not f continuous but not differentiable. At s equal to 1. Now it's your job to find out why it's not differentiable. ये कैसे आया समझा सभी को? आप you can ask question if you have
So,
any doubt. हाँ, yes, please tell me.
Sir, go back to the question paper. Sir.
Question, yes, okay.
Sir, if we see
Hmm.
f of t, it's not continuous at 1, na? F of t only, sir.
F of t. F of t, yes, it's not continuous at 1. Correct. Very good observation.
Sir, then how we integrate it?
Understand. For integration, you don't need continuity, na?
But
You get my point.
acha,
That is again one point that let us discuss that. No problem. That's a good question. See, ये जो मेरा original ft था ना, वो क्या है? तो वो ये है t 0 less than to t less than to 1 and 2t 1 less than to t less than to 2. अभी इंटीग्रेशन f 0 to जो कुछ भी s या 0 to सपोज मैं 0 to 1.5 बोल रहा हूँ, 0 से 1.5 तक मुझे f को इंटीग्रेट करने का है.
yes, sir.
हाँ, तो इसका एक्चुअल ज्योमेट्रिक मीनिंग क्या है? इसका ज्योमेट्रिक मीनिंग ये है कि एरिया बिलो द कर्व ऑफ y equal to fx between 0 and 1.5. That's it. तो ये मैं निकाल पाता हूं, क्योंकि क्या होगा, फंक्शन का ग्राफ ऐसे दिखेगा कुछ तो 0 से 1 तक 1, I mean t, and after that it is 2t, so 2 or ऐसा something like this will be the graph.
Yes.
But I can always find this area and further this area, trapezium जैसा. तो इन दोनों एरिया का एडिशन, that will give me the total area. So understand that continuity implies differentiability. Sorry, I mean Riemann integrability. R integration.
Yes.
So every continuous function is Riemann integrable, but every Riemann integrable function may not required to be continuous. जरूरत नहीं है. तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि कुछ फंक्शंस Riemann integrable है but continuous नहीं. तो वो ऐसे जाता है कि आपका ये आता है आपका continuous और इसके बाहर Riemann integrable. कंटेनमेंट बहुत दिखाएंगे तो ऐसे लोग हैं इधर कि जो Riemann integrable है बट कंटिन्यूअस नहीं है ना? क्लियर ना?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
हाँ, गुड गुड.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. ओके. सो बाय द वे ये इंटीग्रल भी समझा ना क्या आया, कैसे आया? मतलब अगर मैं s आगे का लूंगा, मतलब s इज ग्रेटर देन 1, तो फिर इंटीग्रल 0 to s ft dt अगर मुझे निकालने का है, तो प्रॉब्लम होता है कि मैं ft क्या लूं, t लूं कि 2t लूं. तो इस 0 to s को मुझे ब्रेक करना पड़ता है. 0 to 1 प्लस 1 to s, और 0 to 1 में ft is t एंड 1 to s में दिस इज 2t. अभी इसको आप जब सॉल्व करोगे तो ये आंसर है. Okay, I think enough time I had given on this, so we'll try to move further. Yeah, answer of 1 somebody is discussing. Okay. One, even I need to work out square. So 2 is done and the answer is B. Yeah, first, now you can try, all of you, those who have not done. See, इसमें देखना किसको है, सिर्फ फ्लोर ऑफ साइन पाई एक्स को ही देखना है. बाकी तो दोनों फंक्शंस दे आर harmless. They are continuous everywhere as far as close minus 1 to 1 is concerned. So there is no tension for x square and for 1 plus mod x. तो sin pi x का बिहेवियर देखना है, ब्रैकेट ऑफ sin pi x. So answers for question number 1, I could see some of you have shared the answers, but I have different answers. So I have got A, B, C, 3 answers. Okay. So I think we should be plotting it. So I'll try to plot question 1. अपना concentration है sin pi x पे, floor of sin pi x, that's it. बाकी तो दोनों functions का issue नहीं है, x square and 1 plus mod x. Now how do I decide this, its values? You can just plot. At -1, I am plotting sin pi x, just sin pi x ना पहले. So at -1 it's 0 because it is minus pi. It will go like this and then go like this. Okay, at pi. Pi means 1. This is at 1/2 minus 1/2. 0. This is how sin pi x behaves. This is -1 and this height is 1. So how do I do it? Means finally at -1 it's 0. So -1 पे value is 0 of this function for x equal to -1. Then -1 और 1 के बीच में what is going to happen? Everywhere the values are lying between -1 and 1. Everywhere the values are lying between -1 and 0 rather. Right? So answer is, can I say it is always -1? -1 less than x less than 0. Tak it is -1. Do you agree? Because all the values are here. तो इसका floor है -1. ये सारे values. Then at 0 it's 0. So x equal to 0 को 0. Then 0 to half. 0 less than x less than 1/2, it is still 0. ये यहाँ के वैल्यूज हैं जिनका फ्लोर भी 0 है, राइट? यहाँ के वैल्यूज, तो इनका फ्लोर 0 है. फिर at 1/2, at 1/2 it is 1. 1/2 पे तो 1 है वो, तो उसका फ्लोर भी 1 है. देन 1/2 के आगे वापस what is going to happen? यहाँ के वैल्यूज मतलब इधर ही, सो उन सभी का नंबर, उन सभी का फ्लोर 0 है. एंड इवन एट x equal to 1 the answer is 0. So let's see where are the discontinuities. -1 itself is a point of discontinuity. Then 0 पे चेंज हो रहा है क्योंकि 0 से पहले -1 था, 0 के बाद 0 होता है, so 0. And exactly at 1/2 there is a change, so at 1/2. So B is the correct answer. You can see that. Sorry, previous page. Answer is B. You get me? Then go further. I want to discuss something like, look at question number 7. What are sequences? Look at this. Now 7th, many have answered C, which is not true. Something else. You be careful. 1 क्या है देखो. So now people are changing to correct option. So those who are done with 7 can move to let's take say 9th question. Yeah, now 7th I'll disclose for those who are working on it. Answer is A. And why is it A? Because we just now saw sequential continuity, that when I say on R, what does that mean? This means F is continuous at P for every P belongs to R. हर पॉइंट पे कंटिन्यूस, ठीक है, तो इन पर्टिकुलर 0 पे भी है, and that means second will be true at 0. f of x n should go to f of x. लेकिन second true है सिर्फ, मतलब only at 0 you have the property being true. How can you say it will be true for every p in R? समझ रहा है ना प्रॉब्लम? So 2 will not imply 1, but 1 has to imply 2, because 1 में हम ज्यादा कह रहे हैं, 2 में हम कम बात कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ at 0 की बात कर रहे हैं. ओके, तो अगर 1 ऐसा होता है, f is continuous at x equal to 0, then we would have got 1 if and only if 2, that is C. On R की वजह से 1 implies 2 हो गया सिर्फ. So answer is A. Now you can try 9th question. Question number 9. Ninth, I am not yet getting correct answer from anyone, but no problem. You can think 2 more minutes. So this is interesting question, it seems. People are struggling. So what to do? Let's understand. For question number question number 9, I'll just quickly move to the discussion of question number 9. So let me write question 9 here. What is the information? Let me collect that. F and G continuous on 0 to 3, and f of x is root 3. So f of x is root 3 for every x belongs to rationals, whereas g of x is 0 for every x belongs to irrationals. And fg continuous. This is very important information that we have. So let us understand the point in general. ठीक है? In general, point ये है कि let me talk about say gx. So gx is 0 at every irrational. Now if gx is 0 at every irrational, then you can play with sequences now. Right? What I will do is take any rational point. P belongs to Q. ऐसा एक rational लिया. Let be any number. Then can I always say there exists a sequence xn in R minus Q of irrationals such that xn converges to P? This is always true by density theorem. Again, क्या करेंगे हम? P यहाँ पर है, मैं P plus 1 देखूंगा, मुझे एक x1 मिलेगा which is a irrational. Then I will look at say P plus half. एक x2 मिलेगा which is again irrational. P plus 1 by 3, P plus 1 by 4. तो P और P plus 1 by n, इनके बीच में मुझे 1 by n के बीच में मुझे xn मिल जाएगा, where each xn is irrational, and this will converge to P, right? But xn goes to P, then G is continuous. So G of xn has to go to G of P. But what is G of xn? It's a 0 sequence. That means G of P has to be 0. तो क्या मिला हमें? रैशनल्स पे भी G 0 ही है. ये जनरल प्रॉपर्टी है, मैं यहां पर लिख रहा हूं. इट कैन बी प्रूव्ड इन जनरल दैट f from say R to R continuous and f of x is 0 for all x in say Q or R minus Q, then f of x is 0 for all x in R. This happens due to continuity. नहीं तो there are functions which are taking non-zero values at irrationals, but then that will break the continuity. तो अगर आपके पास continuity है, तो फिर you are not going to have any other value for the function even at irrationals. अगर सारे rationals पे वो function 0 है तो वो पूरे R पे पूरे set पे and then there is nothing special about 0. I could have argued this for root 3 also in similar lines. ठीक है, तो point is आपका मतलब ये हो गया कि fx is root 3 not just on rationals but everywhere. So your fx becomes constant root 3, gx becomes constant 0. तो अभी किधर भी पूछो क्या प्रॉब्लम है, I can answer it wherever you ask. So f of root 3 is root 3 plus g of 0 is 0. Understood? So this answer is root 3. I hope this is clear to everybody. Now, yes, we'll visit this afterwards. Maybe you can try at home. 10th question. Baki question. Let's talk about say 11. Look at 11th question. Those who are done with 11 can look at 13, 1, 3. So x raised to 6 minus 1 and 1 minus x raised. This is nice question. I'll do it here itself. हम लोग है ना प्लॉट करेंगे तो कैसे जाएगा इसका ग्राफ. x raised to 6 मतलब it will behave like x square. I mean even degree polynomial. So x square minus 1 मतलब 1 से नीचे आएगा. Something like this it will go. And 1 minus x raised to 6. So minus x raised to 6 ऐसे रहता है उल्टा. एक यूनिट से ऊपर आ जाएगा तो वो जाएगा ऐसे. ओके, ये हो गया ग्राफ 1 माइनस एक्स का. लेकिन अभी रैशनल इरेशनल्स पे है वो, तो क्या होगा, ये हर एक को ऐसा कट करना पड़ेगा. ओके, इट्स अ डॉटेड ग्राफ दैट आई हैव टू ड्रॉ. ये मेरा समथिंग लाइक किसका है, इरेशनल्स का इमेजेस है. ओके, ये रैशनल्स के इमेजेस है, तो मैं कट कर रहा हूँ वो इरेशनल्स वाले हैं, वो उधर आ चुके हैं. I hope you are getting what I'm doing. ठीक है, this is the graph in fact that I am having. तो अभी you can again see कि क्या हो रहा है. It's going to be continuous at these points. यहाँ पर that is actually -1 and this is 1. So at these 2 points it's going to be continuous. Okay. Basically आपको कोई भी दो कर्व दिए हैं उनका points of intersection निकालने पड़ेंगे हमको. At all those points continuity will be guaranteed everywhere else it's going to be discontinuous. Okay, so that is about 11. Those who are done with 11 can look at 13. So 13 का क्या करना पड़ेगा हमें? Continuity is anyways guaranteed because of see, by the way, limits के लिए composite वगैरह ऐसा कुछ law नहीं है, but continuity के लिए composite law है. Like if you have two functions which are continuous, their composite is also continuous. So cos of e raised to minus x is a continuous function. That's not a problem as such. But what about its like increasing, decreasing? How do I decide that? कैसे decide करेंगे उसको? Any idea that you can share? How are you deciding? कि वो increasing है फिर? Correct, differentiation. Somebody said you have to differentiate, correct? So differentiate and then see whether the derivative is remaining greater than 0, right? That's correct. So you work out. देखो f dash x greater than 0 हो रहा है क्या? तो f dash x निकालो. What is the f dash x value? F dash x निकाल सकते हैं easily, chain rule जो कुछ भी आप बोलते हैं उसको. So it is minus of sine e raised to minus x into e raised to minus x into minus 1. So I write it as f dash x equal to e raised to minus x into sine of e raised to minus x. Now, can I say this is greater than 0 for all x in 0 to infinity? What happens to e raised to minus x? X crosses 0, then e raised to minus x का बिहेवियर पे सब कुछ डिपेंड होगा, क्योंकि आपका साइन देखो क्या है, कैसे जाता है. दिस इज at pi by 2 it becomes 1. Okay, sine, and pi by 2 is something like 1 point something, so it becomes 1. So what happens, let's examine 1 by e raised to x. So actually e raised to x is greater than 1 whenever x is bigger or equal to 0, greater than or equal to. Agreed? E raised to x, so it goes like this. Okay, at 0 it's 1, तो 0 के आगे वो बड़ा ही होने वाला है, e raised to x is there. So 1 by e raised to x is smaller or equal to 1 for all x, and greater than 0 तो है ही वो. तो ये सारे जो वैल्यूज हैं, ये सारे वैल्यूज ये यहाँ पर बैठे हैं, somewhere here only, right? 0 to 1 के बीच में, 1 इधर किधर तो होगा, pi by 2 से पहले. ओके, तो इनके इमेजेस जो कुछ भी हैं, I mean what happens to this sign values, they are all positive, there is no problem. All right, they're all positive, so I can say this is greater than 0. Okay, and derivative is positive. By the way, e raised to minus x का तो कुछ सोचना नहीं है, this is always positive. So problem is, if होना है तो इसके साथ होता था, we might have not been in a position to declare its sign, but luckily ये जो e raised to minus x है, ये पूरा 0 और 1 के बीच में रह रहा है, तो we are safe and we are done. ठीक है, तो आंसर इज बी, इंक्रीजिंग एंड कंटिन्यूअस एज वेल. Right. Now you can go ahead to, now we have how much time? 20 minutes. Okay, let me concentrate on 18th question first. पहले थोड़ा जो मुझे चाहिए वो करते हैं, मुझे मीन्स some different type I'm just trying to cover. तो 18th देखते हैं. Okay, I've got a lot of answers. That's good. I'm very happy. So, can someone tell me why A is true? Many of you are saying A is not the correct option. That means A is true. Why A should be true? Someone? Huh? A true क्यों है? Is A true? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes, sir. Because
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah. So why A should be true? If you, because I could not see people writing A as the answer. So हम not true के लिए ढूंढ रहे हैं ना. So it seems A is true.
Because f is continuous, so f of 0, f of 1
हाँ.
exists. So there exists x, जिसका image.
क्यों? F of 0 और F of 1 exist है, ठीक है. तो क्या हुआ? So whenever F of 0 and F of 1 exists, there always exists X. हाँ. ठीक है. F of 0 पे continuity है, 1 पे continuity है. Does that mean F of 0 plus F of 1 by 2 is being attained by the function? I can give an example ना, which is जिसमें F of 0 defined है, F of 1 भी defined है, but F of 0 plus F of 1 by 2 is not being attained by the function. Continuity कहीं तो use कर रहे हैं ना हम. How do I precisely justify?
sir, the image,
Whose image?
the image of that function will be always in the codomain from 0 to infinity. कोई भी function लिया तो.
That is okay. So what?
So इसलिए that function can be defined.
नहीं सी वो डोमेन में होगा, ठीक है. तो इसका मतलब वो ये पर्टिकुलर नंबर लेगा एज अ इमेज. हाउ दैट आई कैन अश्योर ना. तो मैं ऐसा लिखा अभी बाद में F of 0 plus F of 1. Will this also be achieved? Huh? Instead of this, if I write this, what do you think? Will that also be taken? Can I say there exists x such that f of x equal to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. No, that is a problem. See, देखो क्या है ना, इतना भी ज्यादा गारंटी नहीं हम दे पाएंगे. Try to understand. We are using intermediate value property basically. Because suppose f of 0 किधर तो होगा, f of 0 at some height. f of 1 किधर तो होगा, तो मे बी f of 1 यहाँ पर है. So ये f of 1 है, ये f of 0 है. And then where this number is lying, f0 plus f1 by 2 is basically arithmetic mean. So it is at the middle. ठीक है, तो फिर इन दोनों के बीच का every number is being attained by the function. That's what intermediate value property says in fact. ठीक है, तो इनके बीच में अगर कोई है तो वो डेफिनेटली अटेन होगा. f0 plus f1 तो आगे जाएगा, तो उसका मुझे कुछ गारंटी, आई डोंट नो, आई कांट गारंटी दैट. बट एनीबडी बिटवीन दीज टू, yes, it will be attained, and there will definitely be at least one x such that f of x will be equal to this. Is this point clear to you, everyone rather? क्या मैं कह रहा हूँ?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because of IVP. So A is true and hence it is not a correct choice for us because we are searching for not true. But why A is true? That's what I was little skeptical about the reasoning. So I hope now the reasoning is clear. Huh? Now same technique I would like to adapt even for saying B is true. Because what is this? Root of f of minus 1 f of 1. ये क्या है? Geometric mean वगैरह दो में क्या? Geometric mean of two numbers.
Yes.
Correct. Vishwajit, you are also correct. You gave me the answer. So this is geometric mean of f of minus 1 and f of 1. So it will lie between f of minus 1 and f of 1. Understand? And hence it will be attained. So there is no problem. Even B also will be true. Now question is C and D. What will happen to C and D? I'll just move to another page and I'll discuss that. तो C बोल रहा है कि there is some x such that f of x will be equal to integral minus 1 to 1 ft dt, isn't it? Right? Yes. And D is saying that there is some x such that f of x is equal to integral 0 to 1 ft dt. Now, how do I do this? How do I guarantee this? Let's understand. मैं एक बात बताता हूँ आपको कि continuity के लिए there is a property. So, if I am taking some fixed interval, say maybe in this case 0 to 1. Okay. So on this interval, if I just concentrate my function 0 1 to 0 infinity, suppose. Okay, and function is continuous. Then हमने जैसा बोला, it's not only bounded, it will attain its bounds and all. But in particular, it is bounded. मतलब there is some lower bound and there is some upper bound for every x. All right. In fact, this can be infimum, this can be the supreme, which is being attained. But I am not interested. मैं अभी integrate करूँगा. So integral 0 to 1 small m dt. Let's now do integral 0 to 1 ft dt. Let's now do integral 0 to 1 capital M dt. What do I get here? I get simply m less than or equal to integral 0 to 1 ft dt. And let's now do capital M. Okay. Now I need that fact that I said here. This m is being attained. So this is equal to some f of p. for some p, and this is some f of q for some q. तो ये जो number है ना, this is a number which is lying between image of two numbers. f of p और f of q के बीच में है, तो इसको pre image होना चाहिए. So there must exist some x such that f of x is equal to this number, because this number is lying between f of p and f of q. And again, intermediate value property tells me that this number which is lying between fp and fq must have a pre-image, that is some x such that fx is this. So even this must be true. But now if I try to apply it over here, then problem क्या होगा, ये जो इंटीग्रल है 0 to 1 के जगह -1 to 1 होगा, and you will get one more factor that is 2. तो वो ऐसे होगा कि you have f of p less than or equal to integral -1 to 1 f divided by 2 and then less than or equal to f of q. So this will be attained, but that we are not saying. आप divided by 2 इसका half attain होगा, but इसका मतलब ये number attain होगा ऐसी कुछ guarantee नहीं. Now this is not a justification for why this is not true, but one thing is like, because other three are true, this is the option. Now to have a proper reasoning, one needs to construct some function for which this will not happen. Now that also is not a big deal. You can construct a function for which this will never be, this won't be true. Okay, कोई भी x लो, corresponding fx will never be equal to the area below the function, I mean below the curve of the function between -1 and 1. ये construct करना is not a big deal. So that can be a good exercise you can try for. So by the way, this is not true. So let me declare the answer as, क्या answer होगा, C. This is the thing which is not true. Is that clear? So good application of intermediate value.
So can you explain once again why B option is correct?
Yes, I can. So are you clear with why A, B and D are correct? That is clear? A, B and D are true. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now let's concentrate on C. C का क्या होगा ना? Means actually I
No,
did
sir, I just want to ask about B option.
D option, D. D
D,
na?
sir.
Yeah.
D,
So I'll
D.
explain D. So let's see. I'll do it on a fresh page if you want. Once again. So see, in general na, if you have a function, say maybe in this case it's on 0, 1. Let me take that to R, subset of R2, and it's continuous. So one can immediately say that f is bounded and attains bounds. Let me do that. Attains bounds. मतलब क्या? Means there is some p and q in the domain.
So second option, sir. I understood this, sir.
Okay, you got this. So second means B.
Yeah.
B for ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that is much simpler. What I'll do is, so we want to talk about f of -1 and f of 1 and square root of that. Now, thing is, geometric mean of any two numbers of A and B is given by square root AB. And it's a good exercise, a trivial exercise in fact, to prove that it lies between A and B. But provided both A and B are non-negative. हाँ, इसकी वजह से वो कोडोमेन हमारा उन्होंने 0 to infinity लिया है, because they want to talk about geometric mean of these two. So to have this in the discussion, we have to keep our range to be a subset of positive non-negative real numbers. So this can be easily observed. That means what I know is ये जो number है ये f of -1 और f of 1 के बीच में some z, that means this must have a pre-image by intermediate value property because it lies between these two. This is okay. That means second must be true. Okay, clear? Then actually my time is almost over. What I would say is 19th question, I can just give you a hint of, or maybe you can try. You just need to use L'Hopital rule. Okay, and try to, is what L'Hopital rule says. Limit f by g, if you get it as in 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity, then you work out f dash by g dash. If that turns out to be a proper answer, go ahead. Else, that again turns out to be infinity by infinity or 0 by 0, go for double derivative, and so on. Now, point is, we already know that the limit exists and it is L. Okay, and it is a finite answer. Using this fact, you have to keep differentiating, and in the process you will get, ऐसा होगा कि डिनोमिनेटर में अगर आप वैल्यू डालोगे तो आंसर 0 जाएगा, बट एट द सेम टाइम न्यूमरेटर पे जो आप वैल्यू डालोगे तो यू विल गेट सम इक्वेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ अल्फा, that will provide you the value of alpha, and then you try to solve further, you will get the value of L also. So this is just, but ये type का question you can find in the question paper many times. Like this also is similar. 21st is based on the same thing, same idea. I had not included all, but you can see question papers and you will find such questions in many question papers. Okay, I think I can wind up now. So you have the questions. Please, all the best. Try to solve more problems. And I'm very happy to see the response. Like many were answering. So that's nice. Tomorrow I think we'll be meeting. And
Yes.
I'll be discussing differentiability. Huh? Yeah,
Okay.
so let me stop sharing, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
On behalf of NES Ratnam College, Ruia College and KC College, I convey my heartfelt thanks to Professor Mandar for today's session. The session was